OpenClaw v2026.4.12 just shipped with 35 contributors. LM Studio is now a bundled provider for self-hosted local models. The Active Memory plugin proactively pulls context before every reply, and macOS gets experimental local speech via MLX, plus significant security hardening, including removing busybox from safe binaries. This release was published by Vincent Koch on April 13, 2026, signed by Peter Steinberger, with contributions from 35 developers. It's described as a broad quality release focused on plugin loading reliability, memory and dreaming stability, new local model options, and a much smoother Faishu setup path. The three headline features target local-first computing, LM Studio for running your own models, Active Memory for smarter context management, and MLX for local voice on Apple Silicon. On the security side, this release removes busybox and toybox from the list of interpreter-safe binaries, prevents empty approver lists from inadvertently granting authorization, which was a potential privilege escalation vector, broadens shell wrapper detection to block inv-argv injection, and forces startup failure when placeholder gateway credentials remain configured. Plugin activation has been narrowed to manifest declared needs with centralized policy management, reducing the surface area for unintended plugin behavior. The community response includes 17 thumbs up, 16 heart, and 9 rocket reactions. Strong engagement across the board. LM Studio is now a first-class bundled provider in OpenClaw. This means if you're running LM Studio locally, serving models like Llama, Mistral, Gemma, or any other OpenAI-compatible model on your own hardware, OpenClaw discovers those models automatically at runtime and makes them available alongside cloud providers. The integration includes runtime model discovery, so new models you load in LM Studio appear in OpenClaw's model picker without any manual configuration. Memory search embeddings are supported through the same local endpoint, meaning your vector search operations can also stay on device. A new per-provider allow private network setting enables trusted local endpoints. You explicitly configure which providers are allowed to access private network addresses, maintaining security while enabling local model access. For teams that need data sovereignty or want to reduce cloud API costs, having LM Studio as a native provider eliminates the need for proxy configurations or custom integration code. Your local models work exactly like cloud models. Same routing, same compaction, same conversation management. Let's look at the release. The changelog is organized by features, security changes, bug fixes, and contributor credits. The 35 contributor count continues April's trend of large community-driven releases. This is the 6th major release this month. The release description explicitly calls out plugin loading, memory and dreaming reliability, and local model options as the focus areas, showing deliberate engineering prioritization rather than feature sprawl. The Active Memory plugin adds a dedicated memory sub-agent that runs before the main agent formulates its reply. It automatically retrieves relevant preferences, past context, and historical details without you needing to manually prompt for them. 3 context modes: message for lightweight lookups, recent for medium context pulls, and full for comprehensive history retrieval, let you balance speed against depth. The verbose command shows exactly what active memory is pulling in real time, and transcript persistence enables debugging the memory sub-agent's decisions. This is opt-in. Enable it when you want proactive memory, disable it when you want fast, lean responses. On macOS, the experimental MLX-based local speech provider brings talk mode voice synthesis to Apple Silicon without cloud APIs. It handles local utterance playback with interruption support. You can interrupt the agent mid-sentence and it stops cleanly, with system voice fallback when the local model isn't available. Combined with LM Studio for text inference, OpenClaw can now run a fully local agent experience on macOS, text generation, memory search, and voice output all on device with no internet connection required. The security changes in this release address real attack vectors. Removing busybox and toybox from interpreter-safe binaries closes a path where a malicious tool could execute arbitrary commands through these Swiss Army knife utilities. Preventing empty approver lists from granting authorization fixes a potential privilege escalation. If no approvers were configured, the system could inadvertently approve all requests rather than denying them. Broadened shell wrapper detection with blocked env-argv injection prevents a class of attacks where environment variables could be used to inject additional arguments into shell commands. Enforcing startup failure when placeholder gateway credentials remain configured ensures that production deployments don't accidentally run with default or test credentials that could be guessed by attackers. Plugin activation narrowed to manifest declared needs means plugins can only access capabilities they explicitly declare, significantly reducing the blast radius of a compromised or misbehaving plugin. Memory and dreaming reliability gets important fixes across transcript ordering and narrative cleanup. The dream cycles that were occasionally producing inconsistent results or generating duplicate entries should now be significantly more stable and reliable. Plugin refresh after self-updates is fixed, meaning plugins that update themselves during runtime no longer require a manual gateway restart to pick up the new version. Matrix mentions compatibility improves specifically for non-OpenClaw clients that were seeing garbled mention formatting, a subtle but important fix for teams using Matrix with mixed client environments. WhatsApp media attachment handling is corrected for edge cases where certain image formats weren't being preserved through the delivery pipeline. Discord legacy configuration downgrades no longer break existing setups. Previously, updating could reset certain configuration values to defaults. WebSocket Keep Alive is fixed to stop prematurely dropping slow clients during long-running sessions, which was causing disconnections for users on slower network connections. And audio transcription error reporting now surfaces failures properly, with actionable error messages instead of silently failing and returning empty transcripts. The new commands.list RPC enables remote clients to discover all available runtime commands, native, text, skill, and plugin, with surface-aware naming and serialized argument metadata, making it dramatically easier to build custom interfaces, dashboards, and automation tooling on top of OpenClaw's command system. Standard update flow, OpenClaw update, check your version, no breaking changes in this release, which means a clean upgrade for everyone. If you're running LM Studio locally, the new bundled provider discovers your models automatically after the update. No additional configuration needed. Just make sure LM Studio server is running, and OpenClaw will find it. Active memory is opt-in through your agent settings. Enable it when you want proactive context. Disable it when you need fast, lean responses. The 3 context modes let you tune the trade-off between memory depth and response latency for your specific workflow. MLX Speech requires Apple Silicon and macOS, and can be enabled in talk mode experimental settings. It falls back to system voices automatically if the local model has issues. The exec policy, CLI, is available immediately for reviewing and configuring your execution approval settings, useful for teams standardizing security posture across multiple OpenClaw deployments. That's OpenClaw v2026.4.12. Local models via LM Studio, proactive memory that knows your context before you ask, local voice synthesis on Apple Silicon, and meaningfully tighter security across every layer. The 6th major April release from 35 contributors with no signs of slowing down. Full release notes are in the description. Subscribe to Prism Labs for every OpenClaw release as it drops.